Good morning, everyone, on this very cold morning. Whew, it's winter here in South Africa, and winter is set in now. And I really do not like winter. I would not survive a day in Sweden or Denmark or wherever it's cold. Oh, I don't know how people do it. I suppose when they have indoor heating, maybe it's a bit better. In South Africa, especially in the place that I live, we're just not set up for winters because winter is quote unquote milder here where I live, but it does get down to zero on the odd occasion in our winter here. So I'm inland but by the beach, so I'm about an hour's drive away from the beach. And anyway, so I can't wake up in the mornings when it's winter. Everything is cold. You get up out of bed and it's just your toes, your nose, your fingers are cold. And yeah, I don't like it. It's just not my thing. And so I even in the mornings I can't get going. I can't wake up. Like this morning my alarm went off and I could have just slept longer. It's like I feel like this is hibernation season for me. There's Yogi. He also doesn't like winter very much. Hey Yogi. So a lot of the mornings now he will be sleeping in as well. And I just feel like I just want to put my head down and wait until winter's over. And so I don't know if you suffer with SAD as well, SADE, seasonal affect disorder. I think I do. I don't know if I actually do or if it's just in my mind. But even like my lips cracking on the corners, everything's dry. I'm just not a winter loving person. And as you can see, I've given up even just doing my nails, but I've just come to a point where I need a break from even thinking about that. I just need a break from a lot of things lately, and maybe it's just my age, maybe it's just the fact that it is winter and it's cold and I'm tired and I just want to hibernate. But I'm giving my nails a break, so I've just cut them short, and I'm just going to leave them for a while. As you can see, I'm not wearing a lot of makeup lately. I do, obviously, if I go out, but um, I'm just kind of taking a rest. I do actually feel like I'm hibernating a little bit. Like I need a period of hibernation and doing as little as possible. And I've just realized that I can. I actually can just cut out a lot of unnecessary things. I really don't need to go and get my nails done or even paint them or do any, I can just leave them. I mean, sure, nice nails looks better on camera, but does it really make that much difference? No. As I've said, I've quit the gym, so I've cancelled my gym membership, and that bolts onto my medical aid that allows the gym membership to be a lot cheaper. So, um, not that I enjoy the gym, I've loved the gym, but I do need a break. Oh, you can hear my nose also with the winter, the dry air, the cold air. My sinuses are, I just feel like I'm always battling. Anyway, so I've quit the gym. So it's just there's a lot less that I feel like I must do. And a lot of this is all in my head. I don't have to do any of these things. There's no like authority figure saying, thou shalt go to the gym, thou shalt have your nails done, you will wear makeup, you will. I really, there's so little I have to do. What I have to do, well, there's a lot, but I have to obviously be a mother and fulfill all those roles, fetch, carry, cook, respond to, listen to, parent, nurture. I have to be obviously available and present in the family dynamic with my partner and his son. Like yesterday, we played Scrabble. We just had that family time. Again, I don't have to, but I want to. But you find there are things that you do in your role in relation to other people. Those are far more the have tos. I mean, I could just lie in bed all day. I don't have to do anything. But what I mean is, there's enough that one does and that is demanded of one through daily living. Beautiful demands. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them, where you don't have to add things. Like I realize we don't have to go out for dinners. We don't have to go. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you feel you have to do. Like I said, go for nails, or I don't know. I can't even think now. What are the things that I've felt like I should do? I mean, for example, get my roots done. I don't have to, but that I do want to do. I like having my hair blonde. It's just a thing. I just like it. Until one day I won't. I'm sure one day I will reach the point where I say, just stuff it. I'm going to allow myself to go gray and natural. But I think for me, that it will come when it comes. I'm not ready for that yet. Um, but yeah, so I'm just like, now I'm in a point where I need to hibernate. I've let go of the routine of gym. Yesterday we went for a walk, though, 5 kilometer walk, and I haven't done a lot of exercise for about a month. I've been sick, and then I quit the gym, and I have done a walk about a week or two ago, so nothing much. So yesterday I actually felt tired and stiff, and for me, a 5 kilometer walk is really nothing usually. But now I've lost the fitness, I've lost my muscles, are just not used to it. And so you realize a lot of it is about perception and what you're used to. And that was interesting for me. But I actually felt like I really needed to move. By yesterday, I was actually getting a feeling in my body and my mind and my soul like I need to go and move. I just need to just do something. I cannot just sit and lie around and just be inactive for that long. Even though I live in a house with stairs, so I'm up and down the stairs a lot. I just had that feeling like, let's go. Excuse me, my nose with the weather. So hibernating, but also I just had the feeling to move. But it's interesting how much you don't have to do. And I don't have to run. I don't have to push myself. A walk was good enough. But allowing myself to just chill, there are other things that are bubbling up. Like I baked brownies this weekend, the best brownies in the world. If you want the best brownie recipe ever, go to a website or a blog. I don't know. She's also got a YouTube channel called Recipe Tin Eats. So literally those 3 words: recipe tin, Tin, eats, EATS, Recipe Tin Eats. And she'll have the whole description of what makes this particular recipe good. Then she's got the ingredients, then the actual recipe, and then you can watch her YouTube video on how she makes it. These brownies, my son made them for his school project last year. They had to do like a project, and he chose baking. And they were, oh, I'm just seeing a bird outside. Wow. It looks like some kind of bird of prey. Anyway, sorry. So he made these brownies, and they were to die for. The recipe itself calls for a lot and expensive ingredients. So chocolate chips and a lot of chocolate and a lot of butter and a lot of obviously fattening, delicious, gooey, all the best things. So anyway, it's not a cheap brownie recipe, but you can taste it when you make these brownies. And it's easy to make. Oh, they are the best. So I made a double batch. Between me, my son, and my partner, in 2 days, we finished just over a whole batch of brownies, and I froze some, but I froze less than half. So we've eaten a lot of brownies. Um, but sometimes you have to treat yourself. But I actually had that bubbling up sensation like I want to make something. So we did that, and I'm getting creative. Like I want to start painting and sculpting and creating and doing other things. And that is the beauty of allowing yourself downtime. I think that's where I'm coming to today in this video. I actually don't know. I don't have a plan for this video. But what I've noticed is allowing rest in certain areas. Other forces are bubbling up inside of me, like the creative spirit is sort of bubbling up inside of me. I'm even thinking how awesome it would be if I could take an acting class, which I'm not an actress. I would probably suck at it, but it would be so fun to take a class for fun, just for fun, or singing lessons. And I'm not a singer, but just for fun, for expression. And I think part of that longing is, when I was at school, you do all these things just because they're exposing you to a whole variety of things, and you do all these lessons and classes, and it's such fun. It is such fun. And there's a lot that we don't do as adults. Our worlds become limited to what we have to do. We have to survive. We have to make money. We have to pay the bills. We have to put tires on our cars. We have to put in petrol. We've got to go and get groceries. It's our lives become very boxed in and by all the shoulds and have tos. And I know we have to, but I want to just carve out a little bit of time for me to self-express. So what I'm thinking is, with all the money I'm saving by not doing a whole lot of things, I want to reap the benefits of the savings, but just take a little bit of that every month and buy myself maybe a new canvas, an art canvas. And those things are expensive. It's quite sad how expensive it is to do art. Maybe buy myself some knitting needles and teach myself how to knit, even if I can't knit to save my life, which, I remember knitting at school, and then I remember teaching myself from YouTube videos how to knit, what was it, 5 years ago? But yeah, and then I just let it go again, so I've forgotten again. But I just want to do something creative, and that's not to do with gym and the body and exercise. And winter's a perfect time because you're covered up. Who cares what your body looks like? Who cares if I gain 2, 3, 5 kgs? I mean, really, really, at the age of 45, nearly 46, who cares? I've spent so much of my youth chasing a body ideal that now I'm thinking of it, and it's fine. I've enjoyed the things I've done, thank goodness. I mean, obviously I did, otherwise I wouldn't have done them. But I'm letting go of the attachment to how my body looks, which I should have done years ago. But anyway, it is what it is. It's okay. It's all good. But when you look at art, and I mean, I'm an artist, the nude in art, I'm looking at, oh, yeah. You look at all these, what do you call them, nude portraits or whatever, of these voluptuous ladies, and you realize that our modern perception of bodies is very one-dimensional, because all bodies are beautiful. Really, they are. All bodies are beautiful. And when you look at this, you see that the body can come in all shapes and sizes and be stunning. Really, it is. It can be stunning. And yeah, I mean, even if I look at Gauguin's, the Tahitian ladies, they are not thin by any means. And if you look at a lot of ethnic bodies, and as I've said, I live in Africa, African body shapes that I see, they are naturally voluptuous in the women. The men are very wiry and strong, and the women are the complete opposite. They are curvy, and they carry a lot of body fat. Obviously, what's the polite term, their bums, their bottoms are round. In the Latina cultures, actually, I was fascinated when you hear Sofia Vergara talking about coming from Colombia and how she actually felt too thin and she wanted curves. That's when you realize that in the West, we've been brainwashed into one body ideal, thin. And nowadays, maybe it's even becoming thin and athletic. And that's a beautiful body type as well, but it's not the only body type. And the problem is that I too have been brainwashed. I grew up in the 80s. Jane Fonda, the aerobicise, jazzercise, exercise. I think I've mentioned before on this channel. I remember my mom going to a friend's house and they were doing exercises to these videos or tapes, or I don't know what they were doing it to. I think it was cassette tapes that you popped in and watched. I don't know. And I remember that she would go and do that. I remember my dad used to do aerobics classes. And I just remember growing up, just seeing people always exercising and trying to attain a good body, which is nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It has its place and it's beautiful. And I love to exercise. I love the endorphins. I love the feeling. But I'm trying to disassociate the exercise and then the body and how the body looks. The two don't have to be linked in my mind. And I think that's where I'm coming to, is exercise for the joy, and the body, just let it be what it is. Just let it be what it is. And I'm starting to see and realize that we think we have control. We think that we are like the sculptors. Well, at least I've thought, like my body is like something I need to sculpt. It's like I'm in charge of it. Instead of seeing it as I was given this gift, this, I don't know, lump of flesh, and it will grow and develop on its own. Sure, I can influence it, but within reason. And I think to try and change it, like it's almost like I was given a car. Not that my body is a car, but I was given a car. And sure, I can put on different tires, I can give it a coat of paint, but it will never be a Ferrari. It will never be a Jeep. It will always be, let's say it's a Beetle. The Beetle will remain a Beetle. You cannot fundamentally change what it is. And I think that's where I'm coming to, is that sure, I could exercise, maybe lose a kg, maybe 2 kgs, maybe 10, but I'm still in the same genetic flesh, meaning I will always be that height. Obviously, you can go for surgery and lengthen it, but I mean, I'm not talking about extremes here. You kind of in your body that you're in. I will always be, well, I suppose you can do transgender surgery now, but I'll always generally be female, a small little girl. You know what I mean? There are limitations, and I know there's Brian Johnson doing his thing, but and I'm fascinated with what Brian Johnson is doing, but I have my gut instinct says something's going to happen, and out of the blue, he's going to die early. I don't know. Maybe not. I hope I don't. I don't wish for him to die. But his slogan, "Don't die," just seems very egotistical and very putting humans at this level that we shouldn't be at. We are not God. We are not the all-knowing, wise beings that we think we are. We need to humble ourselves. This is just my opinion, and I think death will come. Of course, it will come, no matter what you do. That is, it's just the way it is. So I don't know, but it will be interesting to see what he does. Maybe he won't die. I don't know. I don't know. And then I think about that, and I think, but I don't think I would like to live forever and ever. Who knows? I really don't know. But because death is part of life, I think it's something that I would want to do is go through the whole cycle just like everybody else. And when it's my time, it's my time. I know that there will be fear around it because of the unknown. I think that's normal and natural. But I'm not afraid, if that makes sense. I'm not actually afraid, but I know that the ego will be terrified. But that's okay. And at 45, I'm just reaching this beautiful place, and I know it's going to take me the rest of my life to continue on this journey, but this beautiful place of where I actually, I mean, I've spoken about self-love and self-acceptance, and I kind of get there, and then I don't get there, and then I get there, but more and more, it's becoming real to me. Like, I think, yeah, the older you get, the less you are invested in your appearance, which is fantastic, because that traps you into always thinking about how to look, how to look, how to look, how to look, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm freeing my resources to do other things, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling to just be thinking of art, thinking of music, poetry. I don't know, dance. Like I said, maybe I'll take up dance classes again one day. Probably I will. I don't know. But for now, I'm enjoying the not having to be somewhere, not having to be accountable, not having to. Because what puts me off the idea of dance classes is that I've got to be there at a certain time. I'm now going to be committed. If they do a show, am I going to be in the show? Am I going to need to make a costume? The financial aspect. So for now, I just want to rest. And winter is the perfect time. So I encourage you to think about when in your life is a good time to just hibernate, take a chill. Are there things that you don't have to do, that you think you should do, but you don't have to do them? Like exercise, like go on another diet, like go to every single family function or school function or business function, um, networking events, whatever it is that actually they're just draining you. but you feel like you must do them for whatever reason, obligation. Are there things you can cut short, get out of, say no to? As I say, even just going for your nails. If you are one of those women who do eyelash extensions, do you just want to drop that? Whatever it is, whatever it is. You go for regular microneedling, you go for regular pedicures, waxing, I don't know what it is that we do. And there's so much that we women do, and I do them too. But I've just realized I don't have to go for these things. I can go when I want to, and I can also just, because sometimes, depending on where you're at in your life and how much rest you've had, even just getting in your car or catching public transport, even just those actions sometimes are so draining because you've got to interact, you've got to get dressed. Sometimes the best thing you can do is completely take 2 days off, a week off, a month off, whatever you can from all of that, and you just stay home. Just stay home. Take a staycation. Sometimes even going on a vacation is exhausting. You've got to plan, you've got to pack, who's going to look after your house or your pets or your plants when you're away. So sometimes, like what we are doing now, is we're just doing very little. We're staying home. And yes, at home, there's washing and cooking and cleaning, and you've got to tidy up. But there's also just a feeling of, oh, just be home and just be yourself and let the mask drop and sleep in, lie in, read all day if you need to. Just rest, 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 rest. And I promise you, because I know the fear is that you will just never want to stop resting, you will. The energy will come where you'll want to do something. Like I found the other day, I wanted to go for that 5 kilometer walk. I was like, actually, I was chomping at the bit to go. And now I feel a little bit sore and tired. And now today I'm going to take a slower day, do what I have to do, and then see like how the energy moves me. And obviously I have to do YouTube because that is now my living. But that's all I sort of, that and being a mother. And at all other times, just rest, 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 rest. I just feel like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm in the middle years, but I just feel like I need to rest more, and I shall. Maybe it's just this year, but I'm going to take the rest. And when the spirit moves me to do stuff and be busy, I will do stuff and be busy. So all of that to say, I'm giving you permission to rest whenever you need to rest. Just take a rest. I love you all. I will see you in the next video. And again, as you can see, I've had a long time without recording, and I will do that if I need to. I'm just going to listen to my soul. When it needs to rest, it wants to rest. Mwah. Love you all. See you in the next one. Bye. Bye.